Hello friends, it's Tracy from Hands to Work. Today is Wednesday, December 7th. So we're a week in on December and it feels like it should still be April. I don't know how time goes so fast, my goodness. It's been a while since I've had a video and I've had several people tell me I really needed to get a new one up. And the same thing with that, it feels like it wasn't that long ago since I did one. I seem to have no concept of time because then when I look at the calendar, how long it's been, I'm shocked because it doesn't feel that long. So anyway, I'm back. I did a video yesterday, so this is take two, because first of all, it was an hour long. I was very chatty and couldn't stop talking. And I don't like my videos to be an hour because for me, I get distracted and an hour-long video is long for me. And so I just assume that it's long for other people. I don't know, but I try to keep them shorter. So, and I talked and talked and talked and talked. And when I went back and watched it, I thought, oh my goodness, no one wants to hear about, you know, details about everything to the point of, it was ridiculous. So I'm going to try again today. I'm going to see if I can keep it shorter and more to the point and not bore you with things you just don't care about. So first of all, I wanted to show you a couple things and talk about some releases that are coming up. And as you know, Teresa from Kitten Stitcher released a sampler box recently. And I think the designs have been put out there for the most part, as far as I know. I've seen some posts with them. So I know that my sampler that I contributed has been shown, but I'll go ahead and show it here. I have a whole pile of things here to show you. And this is what's in, this is my contribution to the sampler box. And I'm going to tell you, there are some beautiful samplers that were added. Now, I called this Mary Ann's Rules for Living. I have several samplers with these verses on how to live your life. And I call them the Bossy Pants samplers because they're very stern and they're, you know, I'm sure mothers would preach these things to the girls. And my mother probably told me very similar things. And I'm sure that I rolled my eyes when she said them to me. But what I like about this sampler is that it's a quick stitch. I love, of course, the houses and the birds and the smoke coming out of the chimney. And it's just, it's very simplistic, I think. There's not a lot in it to stitch. The verse, her name, and a few motifs, and the houses. And you could even use these houses if, you know, in something else, even a standalone as an ornament or something. They're super cute. So I used over-dyed threads on this, and I'll read you the verse. Cleanliness gives comfort. Sobriety brings health. Industry yields plenty. Honesty makes friends. All very true. This was stitched in 1847, and she doesn't tell us how old she was. But I guess she was old enough to tell me how to live my life. So anyway, I really like this sampler, and I hope that you like it too. Right now, it is exclusive to Teresa's sampler box, and then next year, I can release it to the general public. So that's this year. Last year, I participated in her Advent box, which I mentioned, and I thought it was so fun. I loved that she did it. I don't know how. I know how much work this was for her to get all the charts and, you know, packages from designers that had enough things to put in these boxes. And, you know, she does all of this in her house. She doesn't have a warehouse. And wow, I mean, it was a lot of work. And in, you know, the busiest month of all, well, November, I think, is when she got everything together and got them sent out. So people got them right before December, but I don't know how she did it. My contribution was this little I don't know what you'd call it, because it's not a flat fold, and it's just a little lean up against a cabinet piece. And it's called Share Joy, and it has a bird, which I love, putting the star on the Christmas tree. Again, not a long stitch. There are some, you know, dense stitching a little bit here and there, but that's kind of mindless stitching once you get the outline in it. So I really love this piece. I finished this myself. I'm not a finisher. I'm not good at finishing, and I felt very Vonna-like when I got this done. I wrapped the front around a piece of, what did I use? Like foam core or something, and I padded it, and then I did the same for the back and padded it, and then I glued them together, and I used a piece of scrap over-dyed wool to put around the edges and a little bow on top. So I thought it turned out super cute. So I am releasing that this month, and what I'm hoping to do, and you need to keep your fingers crossed that I can figure this out. I would like to not only send this to shops and the distributor, anyone who wants it, but also make it available on my website as a PDF download only. And I'm not exactly sure how to do it. I'm hoping I'm smart enough to figure it out, but you just never really know. Techie things seem to get harder for me the older I get. But I'd like to have it out in the next couple days so that people have time to stitch it before Christmas. So keep your fingers crossed. I'll keep you updated. Send good thoughts that I can figure this out. And then the other thing that I need is I need a computer buddy. I need someone who's pretty good at like Photoshop and website design and uploading, downloading, just nothing real difficult, but editing pictures. Excuse me. I will go to YouTube to watch things and try to figure out how to do things. But often they're more advanced than what I'm looking for. I want something really simple just to get me through what I'm trying to figure out. And so I just need someone I can talk to, like, tell me in 5 steps how I do this. Because I don't want the down and dirty. I don't want to know how to program anything. I just need some help. I used to be so much better at this stuff, but I don't know. I get frustrated. I think that's the biggest thing. I start working on something, I can't figure it out. I try again, I watch a video, and then I get really aggravated. So, if anyone knows of anyone that wouldn't mind chatting with me sometimes, I would pay them, not a ton, because they're with my website, they can help you with your designing on the website and that sort of thing. But it's quite expensive, and you know, I don't have a ton of money. So anyway, so I'm just putting that out there. Also, I'm working on Nashville pieces. I have one piece completely done. It's stitched and framed. I have to finish up the charting on it. And another one that I'm working on, which I'm very, very excited about, is a companion piece to My Dear and, what was the other one? Sir Dandy. It was right on the tip of my tongue. So I'm using the same huge sampler that I have, and it's going to be called Garden of Eden. So as you can guess, it's going to have some flowers and trees and that sort of thing. But everything on the sampler is so quirky and colorful and just fun. And so it'll be very similar in design to the other 2 pieces, about the same size, same colors, that sort of thing, so that they can all work together if that's what you want. But, and I'll do it also in needlepoint silk like I did the first 2. And so I'm so excited to get this one done. I hope it turns out the way I want it to, you know, the idea I have in my head. So that's coming. And then I have an antique sampler that I won't say I'm reproducing. It's more of an adaptation. And I'm changing the verse on it because I really don't like the verse, and I don't really understand the verse. So I'm changing that, and I'm going to do it in overdyed colors, and I might make it a little smaller than the original, take some things out, because it's, when I put it on a 40 count, it's going to be, you know, much larger, and I just don't want a great big sampler. So I'm working on that, and once I get it charted the way I want, I'll have it stitched for me. Now these are the colors so far that I have for it, and often you know, the colors, I really like them and they're looking good to me, but when I start stitching with them, I think, oh, maybe, you know, there's not enough contrast. I just don't like that color with this one. And color theory is not something I've ever learned. I just go with my gut. Sometimes I get it right and sometimes I don't. I depend on my youngest to help me. She knows color theory. She understands it, and she can say, oh, Mom, that's, you know, that's just not right. Even though I think it looks great, she can help me a little bit. So that's good for me. And so, you know, sometimes, like I said, once it gets started, I have to switch it out and maybe change some things. But I'm excited about that one too. I may have another reproduction, and I'll have another original, that, you know, different things I'm working on. So that's what I have so far. So I'll get Share Joy out just as soon as I can. And then I think everything else, maybe I'll have something to release, you know, early in the year, and then the rest of my releases will come at Nashville. So Nashville it feels like, once we get to December, I start to feel panicky because things have to get done. I mean, there's so much to do for Nashville, and you know, I don't, a lot of times some things get, you know, harried at the end. I get last minute and panicky and frustrated, and I don't want to do that this year. I'm sure there'll be some. It's just how it works for me. But I'm trying to get all the little things done ahead of time. Go through the list, remember what worked last year, what do I need to add. For instance, I need to add some lights in my room, and I might get some of those little battery operated push lights, you know, that you can add around, put under your countertops, things like that. I might get some of those to put around and help just brighten things up. The rooms are a little bit dark, and it just helps the samplers as they're sitting on the table show up a little better. And as we all know, those are, you know, getting older. The darker things are, the harder it is to see them. And so we need a little extra light. I know that I do. Oh, something else that's new. Well, two things. I got my hair cut, and I really like it. Now I fixed it, and because we went to Costco, and then we had to run by Michael's, and Chuck and I went, and it's kind of drizzly, cloudy, and humid. It's like 55 degrees today, and my hair doesn't really hold curl. Sometimes I can get it to do those like beach waves where the ends are kind of straight, but then there's a little bit of a curl to it. That wasn't happening today. Sometimes my hair will wave and on its own and look really cute, and then like this is today, just perfectly straight. So who knows? It's however it comes. I am not the best at fixing my hair. I never quite learned that. You know, some girls just can get out a curling iron and a brush and make their hair look amazing. I just can't. I think that's why I had my hair long for so long. I just throw it up in a ponytail and be done with it. But anyway, this is nice. It's easy. And Chuck doesn't really like it because he says it looks like I need to comb my hair. So he likes it if I, you know, straighten it and the ends are turned under and it's all neat. And but he just doesn't get it. The other thing he doesn't get, which cracks me up, one of my favorite new things that I've been doing is doing my nails. And this is a new thing for me. And when I do my nails, sometimes I'll do like my ring fingers and I'll do the same color, but I might put some glitter on them. Not anything crazy, but just a little bit of sparkle. And he doesn't get it. Like, why would you just put it on one finger on your hand? Why don't you put it on every finger? And I said, I don't know. I just like it. Well, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Explain it to me. I can't explain it. It's just what we do. So let me tell you about my nails real quick. I've never been one to do my nails because I always had a hard time keeping the nail polish where it's supposed to be. And I'd often make such a mess that it was hard to get it off. And then I'm like a bull in a china shop. Most things, with most things, the way I walk, I'm clumsy. I, bump my hands. My nail polish was always chipped and scratched and, and then once I'd get a place on it, then I'd pick at it. And that just didn't work well for me. And I don't like to go to a nail salon. It takes forever and, I just don't like it. So every once in a while, if there was an event, I might go get my nails done, but I never really like to do it. And it's expensive when you go every week. So my youngest daughter, Elizabeth, that we call Mimi, and it doesn't make sense, but that's her nickname. She is the Barbie of the family, and she went to Paul Mitchell's school, became a hairstylist, but she no longer does that because working in a salon, you have to have retail hours. That's people, a lot of people, because of their schedules or work schedules or whatever, want to come. Okay, sorry. I thought Chuck was coming in. He went to the gym and the dog was barking, and I thought, oh, I'm going to get caught in the middle of my video. So where was I? I was talking about my nails. I was talking about Mimi, and so she figured out, she wanted to do her own nails. So she ordered the dip powder stuff. And so I had her doing my nails. And the reason why I like it is my nails are really thin. I've gotten thinner as I've gotten older. And so they were always breaking or, peeling or ripping. And I just couldn't keep them nice. And having this, this nail stuff powder, and it turns magically into something hard, would really, really help my nails. And the other thing I like about it is that I feel so much more put together when my nails are done. I mean, maybe I'm not, but if I can put this on and some mascara, even though I may be wearing leggings and a sweatshirt, I just feel like I can kind of get away with it. It's maybe all in my head. I don't know. Well, because I'm a homebody and I like to be home more than anywhere, I figured I could learn to do this myself. So I've been doing them myself for about a few, like 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 months. And I love it. Definitely a learning curve. If you're good at painting your nails, you'll have no trouble. But I'm not especially good, but I'm getting better. And I've learned some different techniques that, shortcuts, that sort of thing that help. And sometimes they're better than others. I don't have a ton of different colors because I'm pretty conservative, and they have a gazillion colors on these websites, and it's too much. So I just, like, this is, even though it looks kind of white, it's a real pale gray, and I like it because it's just easy, and it's not out there. Some of the colors that Mimi has, but she's like that. She's adventurous, and she will do things that I would never do. So anyway, to get started, there's a company called Revel, R-E-V-E-L, and they sell a beginner's kit for $45, and it gives you everything you need to get started. And so that's what I did, and they have videos of how to do it. And, the first couple times, it was awful. They were so terrible, but I would just take them off and try again. And one thing I found, if you like to change the color more often, they have a base that's kind of like a quick release. So you can almost peel them off. they don't last that long. You might get just a couple days out of them, but that's good if, especially when you're first learning and you keep messing up and you just can't stand it, then you can take them off and try again. So anyway, and then the other thing I will tell you is you can find a ton of dip powders on Amazon, but you really need to be careful getting the cheap, no name brand or whatever. Some are better than others, but what I found is I've bought some from Amazon that the colors were gorgeous, but they don't cover well. You get streaks and they, you know, and then some dark places. And while the colors are really pretty, I don't know, whatever they mix into them, it just doesn't react well to the other magical stuff that you put on your nails to make them shiny and hard. So anyway, so that's what I've been doing. And I think it's great fun, and I feel very smart that I'm able to do this myself instead of going to the nail salon and paying, you know, $40 to $50 to get my nails painted that only last for a week and a half, 2 weeks. So yay for me. So that's one thing. Okay, two things, because my hair and my nails. And I'm going to show you another thing that I think are genius. They've been around for a long time, but I don't know, other than my girls and me, I've never heard anyone else talk about them. So they're called Gex, and they're, get them online. They're a little pricey, I think, but for what you get, I'm going to show you what they do. These go in your shoes. Now, when I want to wear shoes that I don't, you know, I don't want anything to look like I have no socks on, I've never had luck with those little short socks that just barely go over your toes. They always slide off my heels. Even the bigger ones that come up onto the top of my foot, they don't work well for me. And I've tried expensive ones, I've tried cheap ones, and they just don't work. So these things are super soft. This is what it looks like. It has a little pocket at the top for your toes. This sticky piece, it has a plastic cover on it, but this sticky piece goes in the back of your shoe, and then there's 2 more sticky pieces that go on the bottom of your shoe, and then your toes go in there. They can be pulled out of your shoe and be washed. They keep your foot from getting sweaty, and they're comfortable. Like when I first put them on, sometimes that edge on the heel will bend over a little bit, and I just fix them. And usually after I wear them a couple times, they're really stick to the back really well. But like I said, it's not a permanent thing. When they first came out, they had like, it was almost like a Velcro, but they didn't work really well. So they've changed the design, and I love them. And they make them like for high heels. They make them for like ballet flats. They make them for loafers, tennis shoes. So they're really nice just if you don't want to wear tights or socks or something to get your foot into that shoe, and it's comfortable and your foot's not all sweaty and gross. So I highly recommend them. They've worked great for me. So I have some other favorites, and these are all Christmas related. Well, one thing isn't. I want to show you this. So I was talking about Mimi. She's my youngest. She's my artistic, amazing with color, and you wouldn't believe how she knits. This girl has, when she had been knitting maybe not even a year, she knitted a coat. She does color work. She does sweaters, scarves. She does socks, mittens. She does everything. And she just picked it up on her own and ran with it. Well, now she's dyeing her own yarn because yarn is very pricey. And a skein of yarn like this can cost $35. Well, if you need 4 or 5 skeins, it gets quite expensive. And so she orders the yarn, bare yarn, and then she has dyes, and she'll dye it. And she does a lot of the over dyeing. And this is the color I wanted, and it is so gorgeous. I'm so excited. I'm going to make this little vest thing. And I'm going to use this color, which I consider a neutral because you can put anything with it. And the older I've gotten, I've turned into this girl who loves pink. I don't know. So that's her yarn is one of my favorite things. And I feel very lucky to be able to tell her what I want, and then she can make it for me. So when it comes to Christmas, I have a lot of favorite things. And one of the most awesome things, and this is nothing new, you probably all know about this, paper clay. I love this stuff. It's clay. You see it's this kind of off-white color, and it air dries. I use it with the kids. The kids will make things with it, but I make little things to put on my Christmas tree. And some things that I've made, I make these snowballs. Excuse me, this is not my idea, but anything that has glitter on it. But this is, I made this years ago and I need to re-glitter it. But what I did is I started out with a styrofoam ball, and then I covered it with the paper clay, and it has lumps and bumps, and I like that better. Let it dry. I put a hole in the top, and then I had some rusty wire, and I put glue down in there and put my wire, and I have a lot of these on my tree. The tree behind me is mostly white, a little bit of color, but not much. And so these look so cute on it. I just love it. And I have little ones that are about this big, and then I have the bigger ones, and I need to make some more. So I make those. The other thing I make are icicles, and I made these years ago. When I first made them, I did the same thing with the hanger. I made a hole in the top. I put some rusty wire in there with some glue. But the problem is, and you can see over time, it's going to pull out. So it wasn't a very good idea, really. And once they come out, then I seem to have a hard time getting them to stay back in. So I made some more, and then I put the hole through the top this way, and then put my rusty wire through there, and they work much better. So I have a lot of these on the tree, and these need re-glittered too. This one's a little better. These have mica glitter on them. The other kind of glitter that I love, and I've gotten it from Etsy, and I think eBay, is the German glass glitter. Oh, I love it. It's so pretty and sparkly, and it makes me so happy. And then, you know, at craft stores, they have some really good glitter that's much nicer than it used to be. Great colors. Of course, I just like silver and clear, you know, maybe a darker silver. I don't like a lot of color, but it's available and very fun. So, hi, Helen. Puppy came over. She's getting so old. She's 13 and a half, and she's really kind of struggling with walking. She falls a lot. Her back legs just give out on her. And I know we're getting to the end with her. I mean, hopefully, you know, she'll go a bit longer, but I don't want her to get to the point where she can't get around, where she can't function. And she's such a sweet girl. And it breaks my heart when sometimes she'll fall down the stairs. We did get some carpet things that go on the treads, and they just stick, but you can pull them up, and they're not very pretty, but they help her not slide on the steps. So, and then the cat refuses to touch them because they're scary. So we put them on one side, and then we have about this much of the treads on the other side of the carpeting. Watch out. You're going to knock that over. Watch out. No, quit. And so she walks up that side, the cat, because, you know, it's so many scary things. Christmas favorites. Some other Christmas favorites that I have are bottle brush trees. And the best place, if you like sparkly bottle brush trees, is Target. You can get these from the dollar spot. And you can get dollar ones or little tiny ones in a pack of 4. I think they're maybe $1. Bigger ones cost maybe $3. But they're really cute. And I have a ton of them, and I put them everywhere on the shelves in my kitchen. I put them on windowsills, in the bathrooms, you know, around the TV. I put them everywhere, and I love them. I have, when I brought this one home, Chuck questioned my sanity because it's pink. And he said, why would you get a pink tree? Because it's pretty and sparkly. That's why I got the pink tree. So, and then another one, I have 3 of these, I think. And I got these from Etsy. And the girl that I bought them from, she hasn't had anything for sale for a long time. These weren't terribly expensive, but she took a block, a letter block, old one, and she put a little glitter along the top. And of course the tree is glittery, real sparkly, if you can see. And then she put a little tiny bit of, I don't know if you can see it in there, silver garland, you know, the silver, small kind of tarnished garland, and then a bead at the base of the tree. And they're so pretty. I just love them. I have a set of 3 of these, and they're my favorite. Another one that I have, I should have gotten out. I got it from Lori Brecklin at her shop, and it's a little spool, an old wooden spool with some thread on it, and has the little tree on top, and it's adorable. I love it. So, I love the bottle brush trees, and of course I need more because more, they're just so beautiful. I love sentimental and handmade ornaments, and just like I like the ones that I made, the sparkly, the snowballs and the icicles. And then sometimes I'll take things that I have gotten from someone else and I'll make them into an ornament. And they're really special. I follow Martha Stewart on Instagram, and I don't know, earlier this week or last week, it said how not to decorate for Christmas or something like that. So I clicked on it because I wanted to see what I was doing wrong. And what the article was about was how, you know, don't be tacky. Don't use bright colors. Don't use too many lights. Don't put handmade ornaments up, or your kids' ornaments, or, you know, and it went on and on about, you know, how you need to have a sophisticated tree that goes well with your decor. And my views are that Christmas is the one time that you can go all out with tacky. You bring out the sparkle, you bring out the, you know, the blinky lights, and I like white lights, but, you know, colored lights, or the, you know, the different sequences of blinking, all that sort of thing. And I still put my kids' ornaments they made at school that are made out of construction paper and had their little school picture in the middle, and they're so cute, and they're old and they're falling apart. I don't care. I love them. It's just so memorable to pull those things out year after year and use them. I always put the, do you remember when you were a kid and the icicles, the metal ice, they were actually like tin foil or some tin, I don't know. And you put them on your tree and they were real heavy. And I remember we had to take them off the tree and very carefully put them back in the package around a piece of cardboard so we could use them next year. And I would get impatient and want to put, you know, handfuls on, but that was forbidden in my house. Well, now they're made of real light plastic, but they're still pretty. And I put those on my tree, the very last thing. When you walk by, they kind of wave, and with the lights, and they sparkle and glitter, especially at night. It's so pretty. I just love it. So Martha, I say that's rubbish. And if you want to have a tacky Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, go for it, because it's a happy, joyful time, and you put out the things you love and the things that make you happy, the things with memories, and you know, go for it. Do whatever you want. So take that, Martha. So in that vein of, this is not tacky, I'm not saying that, but things that I've gotten from other people. Kathy Barrick made this years ago, and so it has a little wooden stem. I think you kind of see right there. And so what I did was I have it in a bowl with other strawberries, and I thought it was such a nice shape and bigger that I wanted to hang it on my tree. So I save, I'm like, what is it, like a blackbird or crow, you know, anything shiny or pretty, I save. So I save pieces of ribbon that come on packages, a thing of sheets, even gifts where, you know, there's ribbon on it. I save those because, and I reuse them all the time. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Chuck came home and he had to eat and the dog had to go out and, you know, she had to eat a little bit. So it's quiet right now. So I'm going to try to finish up. I feel like I've been talking for a long time. I started and stopped. That was the second time. So I hope I can get all these little bits and pieces put together that is sensible when I put it on YouTube. Okay, Helen, you need to go lie down. Come on. So I was telling you about this strawberry that Kathy Barrick made. And so what I did was take a piece of ribbon from my collection, tied a bow, and then I made a little loop on the top and I glued that onto the stem. And I still put it on in the bowl with the other strawberries and things, but I love to hang it on my tree. It's a nice size to hang on the tree, and that pop of red on my all white tree looks really pretty. So things like this, I try to get multiple, you know, I put it out all year long, but it's a very sentimental thing for me to add on to my tree because Kathy is a really dear friend and makes awesome things and she can do anything. And so this is one of those pieces that I treasure. Another thing that I put on the tree, let me find it here underneath. Oh, one time I got a box from Maggie Bonomi, and another wonderful, kind, talented, fun girl that I just love. And years ago, she came to one of my retreats and taught. I love her. And Kathy came to all three of my retreats. I had, you know, Lori Brecklin came, Barb and Alman came. I had a lot of people that came and to my retreats. It was so much fun and became so much closer to them. Well, anyway, Maggie sent me a box of things that I asked for, and then she put this little heart on there, which is nothing more than one of those rectangular tags that she cut into a heart. And I think we've all done that before. I use them on packages for Christmas, and it says, "I will honor Christmas in my heart." And in her writing, I put that on my tree every year, and I've had it probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and I love it. It's a treasure for me. So and then last year I have a mess now of all these things, and I lost it. I got these optometrist, what do you call them? Lenses. When they're testing your vision, and they put different lenses in front of, you know how they do it. And they put that great big giant thing, and they put, is one better or two? 1 or 2? And I never can remember, or they're so close I can't decide, and I sit there and hem-haw around. But anyway, she had Monahan Papers. What's her name? She's super nice too. I've forgotten. But she had these really cheap, older ones, and I have some of them that have a little tiny heart right there. And so I tied some ribbon on the top, and I hang these on the tree behind me. And I don't have direct sunlight or anything that's going to, because these are like magnifiers, so it's not going to cause an issue with my tree. But they kind of sparkle in the light, and they're unique, different. It's just something quirky and different, and I love them. So this is the second year I've had them on my tree, and I think they're really cool. Sometimes when my kids come over and I show them, oh, I got this to put on my tree, and they give me a look like, why? Why did you do that? Kids are different now. Don't seem to be sentimental over things. They don't have a problem throwing things away or getting rid of things. Their houses are so much more streamlined and simple, and where I get kind of emotionally tied to things. they don't. It's just different. I don't know what's going to happen to my things one of these days when I'm gone, but I guess I won't have to worry about it. These little candy canes that are made with pipe cleaners and then dyed in coffee or whatever. I have a ton of these things. I've made some myself, and I've gotten some from other people, and I just love them. They're just something so simple, just a really easy little thing that you can do in an afternoon and have something really special on your tree. So, I think you've got a pretty good idea of what I like and special things for my tree. I want to just show you a couple more things. I feel like this is going on and on again, but I'll try to wrap it up. I don't win things, and when I do, it's just so exciting. I don't know if you all are familiar with Cynthia Treen. She makes the amazing animals out of wool felt, and she has a new book out that's incredible. All the scenes at these little animals, it's the Wind in the Willows, and so she made all the different animals from that book. And so she had this as a giveaway thing, and I can't believe it, but I won it. It's a frog. Oops, I lost his little fish. And he has this, his coat and pants, and I want you to see the detail, the buttons and the little waistband thing on the back. I believe that this is snapped so you can take the coat off, you can change the clothes, and then the pants come off. They're cuffed, and he's bendable. His little boat, his little sailboat, with the rope and the sail and the little, there's this wood here. He sits down in his little boat. And then this is so darling. I mean, I wish I could think of things like this. He's fishing in his little boat, and this teeny tiny little fish, it goes this way. And he has, oops, I've lost myself on the camera. His little tiny beaded eyes, and he has his fins and his little tail, and then he's been caught, and this is the fishing line, and the frog holds it. So cute. I just love it. It makes me so happy when I look at it. I'm not a frog person, but I think, you know, this is just spectacular. So I keep this out and look at it, and it's just makes me happy. All right, one more thing. I was digging around in my, I have an old dresser and a spare bedroom, and now I'd like to say that that's the only place where I have charts and fabric and thread and things, but that's just a small portion of what I have. But I was digging around in there, and I kind of forgot that I have some pieces, and this isn't all that I have, but some pieces that need to be finished. And it wouldn't take any time at all to finish them. Obviously, this needs ironed, but I love this. It's just so happy. It would take no time to finish this up, get it stuffed and out. And this little red alphabet, Christmas 1878. It didn't take any time to stitch, and it wouldn't take any time to finish. And then I have this, and I think I would probably I was thought about framing it, but I think I'm gonna make it into a little mat or something. And this is the Paulette piece. The red house and the little tiny over one house right here, and you know how clever and cute her things are. And I have some Prairie Schooler Santas that need finished up, but I put them in there, and I kind of forget what I have, and until I dig around again, and then I think, oh, I need to get to it, and I close the door and forget again. So that was a lot of talking, and I'm sorry if it's too long, but that's what you get when you have to wait so long in between. Feel free to fast forward through some of it, but I just wanted to share some things, just to talk a little bit, you know, to my friends who get what I get. And also to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope that it's full of good food and friends and family and presents, if that's your thing. Happy, beautiful presents. And that you just have a wonderful time. Then there's New Year's, and, you know, everyone has their traditions. We always make, for Christmas Eve, or whenever the kids are able to come over, we have the Christmas with the kids and grandkids. I always make beef tenderloin and then all the sides, and it's so good. And then on New Year's Day, it's pork and cabbage is what we do. And I know a lot of people do black-eyed peas, but our tradition is pork and cabbage. And then there's dimes in the cabbage, and the more dimes you get, you know, they're washed and cleaned up good with, you know, they're not gross. So, and then the more dimes you get on your plate, the more prosperous you're going to be for the year. And so we bought a ham today when we went to Costco. So we're ready for that. So it's fun to have the traditions and pass those on in your family. So I hope all those wonderful things happen for all of you, and you have a great time, and it's joyous and calm and happy and fun. So till I see you again, which might be in 2023, I wish the best to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being such supportive and kind friends to me. And we'll talk soon. See ya.